Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, well, it's pretty simple. We are cutting through the noise, the confusion really, surrounding pro golf from the week of September 15th through the 21st. The initial source material we looked at wasn't just slightly off. Frankly, it was riddled with errors.
That's spot on. This wasn't just your, typical week of tournaments. It was a week marked by some really clutch performances under pressure, big business moves, and yeah, some frustrating global controversies that just demand clarity. We aren't here just to read out scores. We're here to pull out the essential insights, show you where the narratives went totally sideways, and figure out what actually happened.
Yeah, we're calling this the week of the clutch finish and the crucial correction. We've got some high drama. Scottie Scheffler showing his dominance again, these one-stroke wins coming down to the wire, and this incredible mix of stories from developmental tours right up to, corporate boardrooms. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the PGA Tour. Procore Championship, Napa Valley. Scottie Scheffler wins his 19th PGA Tour title. Final score, 19 under par. On the surface, okay, another Scheffler win. But what does this specific performance really tell us?
Well, it's fascinating because the final score, it's almost the least important part of the story here. While, yeah, the initial reports may be focused on the margin of victory, the real insight is that Scheffler closed with a 67. And that final round, completely bogey-free, that kind of steady, air-free play under that intense final round pressure, that's the real signature of his dominance right now.
And that 19th title, that puts him in pretty rarefied air, right?
Absolutely. Ties him with legendary former Texas Longhorns, Ben Crenshaw and Tom Kite. Huge company. But here's where the narratives kind of missed a critical detail. This wasn't some runaway victory.
Oh.
No. Scheffler only took the lead for good when the guy who finished second, Ben Griffin, bogeyed the 14th hole. So Scheffler didn't exactly win by charging ahead. He won by just refusing to make mistakes while his main competitor stumbled. It's a different kind of dominance.
Interesting. Okay, we saw similar high-pressure finishes over on the PGA Tour Champions, right? The Pure Insurance Championship.
Yes, and here's where we hit our first really crucial correction. Doug Barron won at Pebble Beach, finished at 12 under par, but he won by 1 stroke over Vijay Singh. Not 3 strokes, as a lot of reports initially said. Big difference.
Wait, so Barron started Sunday, 4 shots back, and then seals it with 3 straight birdies at the end. Was that just luck, or was that the most aggressive clutch charge we saw all week?
Honestly, that was a bit of a golf heist. Started 4 shots behind, like you said. But his final round 66 was bogey-free and included that unbelievable finish, birdie, birdie, birdie on 16, 17, 18 to close it out and just snatch the victory by the slimmest margin. That's how you win a shootout at Pebble.
Incredible. Now, let's turn to the story that really kind of demolished the narrative this week, the LPGA Tour. The rumor mill was absolutely buzzing that Charlie Hull had won the Walmart NW Arkansas Championship at 20 under.
Right, and we can definitively tell you that is, well, it's just plain incorrect.
Hold on. So the entire golf world, or a big chunk of it anyway, was talking about a Charlie Hull win that never actually happened. That's not just a correction. That's like a total demolition of the story.
It really is. The verifiable truth. The tournament got canceled. Severe ongoing heavy rain meant they only completed 18 holes, so 0 world ranking points were awarded. No official winner. That's it.
So who was leading after that one round?
Sarah Schmelzel and Minami Katsu were co-leaders after Friday. Both shot great 8 under 63s, but that's where the tournament ended. Full stop.
So where did the confusion come from? That negative 20 score for Hull is so specific.
Well, the confusion clearly stemmed from Hull's actual victory a few weeks earlier at the Kroger Queen City Championship. She did win that one at 20 under par, remember, after Gino Thidikul had that heartbreaking 4-putt on the 18th. So the score was right, the player was right, but the tournament was completely wrong. Just shows how context is absolutely everything.
Wow. Okay, massive correction there. Right, that level of pressure performance wasn't just on the big tours. Let's look at how these developmental tours and international circuits are really shaping future talent. Starting with a DP World Tour, FedEx Open de France, the winner, Michael Kim from the USA, kind of a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Claiming his first DP World Tour win at 15 under.
Yeah, a great win for him. And here's another key correction we need to make. The initial chatter, some reports suggesting Brooks Koepka and Min-Woo Lee maybe shared the victory. Totally false.
Really?
Yeah, they did co-lead after 54 holes, both at 11 under, but they both fell back on Sunday. Koepka ultimately finished 4th.
Okay, so the story isn't just Kim winning. It's also about the collapse of two big headliners that kind of opened the door for him to come through and steal the title.
Exactly right. Kim totally capitalized. Shot a bogey-free 65 in the final round, including a really crucial birdie-birdie par finish on 16, 17, 18. And get this. He had to save par from a greenside bunker on the 18th hole just to seal that one-stroke victory, that bunker save. That was the absolute defining moment that kept him ahead. Clutch.
Okay, switching gears to the Korn Ferry Tour, we need to clarify a small but important detail about the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship winner.
Yes, the winner was John Vanderland, not Frankie Vanderland, as some might have seen.
Got it. John Vanderland.
A necessary clarification, just for accuracy. John Vanderland secured what's really the biggest win of his career so far and earned absolutely crucial points toward locking up a PGA Tour card for 2026. When you're fighting to make that jump to the main tour, consistency is just the ultimate currency.
And his consistency, looking at the scores, it was almost robotic.
It really was like poetry on a scorecard. He played 4 incredibly consistent rounds, 67, 67, 67, and then a final 66. Finished at 17 under, won by 3 shots. He never really dipped, never seemed to panic. Just relentless, steady progression towards that tour card. Impressive stuff.
Meanwhile, over on the Challenge Tour, that's Europe's main developmental circuit, J.C. Ritchie was putting on an absolute masterclass at the Italian Challenge Open.
Oh, this is the kind of detail that just sticks with you. Ritchie started his final round with an almost unheard of run, 7 consecutive birdies.
7.
Start the run.
7 in a row right out of the gate. That astonishing start basically locked up his second victory in just 2 weeks, and 2 wins in a calendar year on the Challenge Tour. That's the fast-track promotion button. It guarantees him an immediate ticket onto the main DP World Tour for the rest of the season and next. What a way to earn it.
Okay, so we've covered the clutch finishes on the course. Now let's pivot a bit from the scorecards to the boardrooms and the backroom deals that are still reshaping the sport. Philly Golf has clearly been busy finalizing its 2025 roster. And it signals a pretty clear effort to expand their global reach, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. What's really fascinating here is the sheer geographic diversity of these new signings. This isn't just about grabbing the biggest available names anymore. It seems like it's about planting flags globally. You've got Tom McKibben from Northern Ireland joining John Rahm's Legion the 13th. We have Lee Chipo, who goes by Max Lee, signing as the very first player from Chinese Taipei. Then there's Frederick Kjettrup from Denmark, completing Martin Kamer's Cliques GC, and Luis Masavu from Spain, replacing Eugenio Chacarra on Sergio Garcia's Fireballs team. It's a real mix.
And what about the reigning team champions, Ripper, GC? Did they shake things up at all?
Nope. Cameron Smith confirmed that his Ripper GC roster, that's Mark Leishman, Lucas Herbert, and Matt Jones, all Aussies, remains completely unchanged for 2025. They won the team title in 2024, so, if it ain't broke, stability seems paramount when you found that winning formula.
Right. And all this roster shuffling, it feeds directly into that persistent cloud that's still kind of hanging over professional golf. The status of the official Golf World Ranking, or OWGR. The ongoing delay in getting LIV recognized is clearly fueling some player frustration.
Yeah, and the latest is, the decision is still pending. OWGR Chairman Trevor Immelman confirmed back in June 2025 that Levy Golf had filed a new application for status. He stated that a thorough assessment is underway. Now, the issue here isn't necessarily simple obstruction. The structure of the OWGR is built around individual 72-hole events, usually with a 36-hole cut, fitting Livy's very unique 54-hole, no-cut, simultaneous team and individual format into that existing framework. It presents some significant structural and, frankly, technical challenges for the ranking system.
But that lengthy assessment process, however necessary it might be technically, is definitely impacting players right now.
Oh, absolutely. Look at someone like Joaquin Niemann. He's currently ranked 103rd in the world. He's been very outspoken, criticizing the lack of recognition for his LIV victories because it severely limits his eligibility for majors and just his general standing in the global game. It really remains the biggest unresolved issue in the sport right now.
Okay, moving beyond the OWGR politics for a moment, we saw 2 pretty huge business developments this week, one in media, one in tech. First, a major expansion announcement from Augusta National.
Yeah, this is big. The home of the Masters announced that Amazon Prime Video will supplement the tournament coverage in the U.S. starting in April 2026. This expands their existing partnership with CBS and ESPN. It really demonstrates a clear move toward broader digital distribution for, arguably the most traditional, maybe even guarded event in golf. Interesting times.
Definitely a sign of the times. And on the tech side, College Golf Experience, or CGX, made an acquisition. Seems like a strong investment in analytics at the amateur level.
Exactly. CGX acquired the Universal Golf Ranking, TUGR. Now, why should you, the listener, care about some college tech acquisition? Well, because it signals that amateur and college golf is finally adopting the same kind of sophisticated analytics the pros have been using for years. TUGR uses these advanced, objective stats, things like how many shots a player gains compared directly to their competitors in head-to-head matchups. It aims to give a truly unbiased college ranking. Think of it like Moneyball finally arriving in full force for amateur golf, your future Ryder Cuppers. They're increasingly being identified and evaluated by hard data, heat maps, trend analysis. It's changing the pipeline.
Fascinating stuff. Hashtag tag outro. Well, it was truly a fascinating week in professional golf, especially once you strip away some of those massive inaccuracies we found. We verified Scottie Scheffler's 19th career title and the way he won it. We highlighted that dramatic one-stroke goal heist pulled off by Doug Barron at Pebble. And, maybe most importantly, we sorted out that critical rain-out confusion that completely derailed the LPGA narrative for a while there.
Yeah, and we connected the dots globally too, didn't we? From LV's clear efforts at geographic recruitment to these business moves signaling that shift toward digital viewing and the adoption of really cutting-edge analytics, even for college players. All of this, really, it sets the table perfectly for the biggest team event in the sport, which is suddenly looming very large.
Right.
The 2025 Ryder Cup, USA versus Europe, September 26th through the 28th at Bethpage Black. It's almost here.
The storylines are already building, aren't they? You got Wyndham Clark's highly anticipated debut for the U.S., Rory McIlroy's return to the competition for Europe after sitting out previously. And here's a highly specific, maybe fun fact for you. The grounds crew sponsor, PBI Gordon, they'll be equipping the staff at Bethpage Black to ensure that turf management is absolutely optimal for the event. Every single detail is being obsessed over for this one.
That intense focus on Bethpage, it's undeniable. You feel it building. Yet, as players like Joaquin Niemann continue to voice their frustration about rankings, the biggest question, the one that hanged over everything, remains unresolved. How will the outcome of this pending OWGR review impact eligibility and team selections for future majors, future Ryder Cups, especially if this dual structure continues? And maybe more fundamentally, how much longer can this global sport really operate effectively with two almost completely non-overlapping ranking systems at the elite level? Definitely something to keep watching closely as we all gear up for the drama at Bethpage Black.